All right, welcome back. So in this video, we're looking at another code.org CS discoveries, and this happens to be lesson 13, sprite movement, and we're going to look at a challenge activity. So this one's bubbles. So let's go ahead and read the directions here, and then we'll go from there. So it says you can also use the counter pattern to animate shapes, such as rectangles and ellipses. Since this is an underwater scene, let's try to create a bubble that floats to the top of the screen using an ellipse shape. If we use the counter pattern to update the Y value of the ellipse, we can make it seem like it's floating to the top of the screen. So if it says create at least one new variable to keep track of the change Y positions of the bubbles, set that value to 400 or another number near the bottom of the grid, because we want to start it down here at the bottom and work its way up. So real simple first, let's go ahead and create that variable right here. So we're going to go ahead and drag this out, and actually we can get rid of this, and we want this to be called bubbles. And then we're just going to set a value to it, and we don't do this a lot with this particular programming, but obviously this happens a lot in others. And we're going to set it to 400. Okay, so that's kind of our start for our variable that we're calling bubbles. And then what we're going to do is it says, all right, set the value to 400. Use appropriate properties to draw at least one bubble. Use the variable you created to specify the Y position of the ellipse, and use the counter pattern with subtraction and your variable to make the ellipse slowly rise. All right, so in our draw, we need to add a couple things, and we need to actually create our fish here too, because we only have one fish that's moving. So let's go ahead and make our other ones. So that's the next thing we're going to do here is we'll add two of these, and this will be let's do blue fish. This will be orange fish. Oh, not orange, green. Okay, and then we're going to subtract from that just like what they did here. So we're going to go ahead and go to math, place both of them in there, and then we'll go here and we'll add in that sprite.x to this first one, and we're going to take away just to kind of have it move across the screen. So every time the loop runs, we're moving the x location over, and we'll say 2, just like when we did this, because to me it looked like they were moving at the same speed. Okay. And then we'll have green fish, and we'll do the -2 from that as well. So they're all going to move. Oops. Is that not what we named them up there? Oh, see, got to make sure you spell those right. Didn't have the capital F there for that. So now we should have ours move. Okay, so now we got a couple other things we need to do. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drag another variable out here. Oh, no, not that one. We need a variable right here. And we're going to say that bubbles, we're going to keep the same pattern that we had here, but instead of using X, we're just going to take 2 off of bubbles. Okay. And this will go into more, down here we're going to draw our ellipses, but this is going to help us change this so often here too. So every time it runs, it's subtracting 2 from bubbles. So we're just going to leave this here. And then we're going to go ahead and draw our bubble. So we need a couple different things. We need a no fill, because you can see that the ellipses there's no fill in the middle. And then we're going to use stroke. And we're going to say that that stroke is white. Then we need stroke weight. We'll just leave that as 3. And then we need an ellipse. And we're actually going to have 3 of them. So let's go ahead and add in three ellipses. And then we want different spots here, right? So we're going to go ahead and we'll do like 65. Let's do 220. And let's do like 350. So these are just going to place it along this way. Okay, so we have 3 of them. And then we need these to have a certain size here, so we only need 1 of these. And we're going to do 25 because this is the size, the width. Now, the Y and how we're changing this is we need this to then change. So this one, let's just make bubbles. And we can see that bubbles is going to change by 2 each time, so it will move up the side there. And you can see this one moving, right? So the other one's not been moved yet, or this one, which we're going to change right now. So then this one, what we're going to do is we're going to use math. And we're going to say that this is bubbles. And this one's bubbles. And since we want them to be different, so each time it's going to take that bubbles variable that we have at the top, that's 400, and it's going to add 25 to that for this one. So somewhat similar to like changing the X and Y position, but this is going to, for our ellipse, we need to create a variable to store that number, whereas if we did like a sprite, you have that .x that's actually storing that variable number, where we need to use bubbles for this. And we're going to do 25, and let's do 100, and let's see what happens. Oops. So now you can see that they're moving, and then when it goes up and it's going to run again, actually it won't, it'll be all done. Okay? All right. So that's how you create these right here, the bubbles. All right. Hopefully that helps you with your coding, and good luck.